The Society of American Travel Writers Foundation welcomes you to the 35th presentation of our Travel Writing All-Stars, the winners in the Foundation's annual Lowell Thomas Travel Journalism Competition.
26 faculty members from the University of Missouri's School of Journalism judged the competition, coordinated by Professor Emeritus John Fennell, Professor Jennifer Rowe, and Administrative Assistant Kim Townlane. We thank them and all the judges for their efforts in reviewing the 1,335 entries in 25 categories. The comments you will hear during the presentation are those of the judges.
Just who was Lowell Thomas? Decades ago, Lowell was known as the world's foremost broadcaster. He was always finding new ways to tell his travel tales, and he originated broadcasts from virtually every corner of the globe.
As an inveterate explorer of new places and of new ways to describe them, Lowell Thomas certainly would have entered the competition's new category this year, a multimedia single work.
Such works use multiple techniques to tell a story, integrating text, images, video, and audio. And that's the category which begins this year's presentation. Honorable mention in this new category goes to SATW member Meg Lukens-Noonan and Tom Garmison for The Rarest Fabric on Earth from BBC Travel.
Bronze goes to Elliot Stein for The Last Film Poster Painter of Taiwan, also from BBC Travel. This interactive story of Yan Zhenfa captures the beauty of his art, and as he is losing his vision, the uncertainty of his future.
Winning silver is Christoph Niemann for Along the Mekong, an illustrated travelogue from National Geographic Traveler. Quirky illustrations and witty, insightful writing guide our journey to the Mekong.
And gold goes to Michael Beninav and Monica Agarwal for The Last Dakpas of North Sikkim and the Traditional Cultures Project. People and places jump off the screen. Vivid photography and videos mix with a carefully crafted story, creating a real connection with the yak herders.
In the next category, travel blogs, honorable mention goes to SATW member Becky Pecora for SiteDoing.net.
The winner of bronze is SATW member Tamara Gruber's We3Travel.com. Tamara offers families the tips, reviews, destination guides, and sample itineraries they need to maximize money and to create meaningful memories.
The silver winner is SATW member Corey Woodard for CurbFree.com. Based on his travels in his wheelchair, Corey gives other disabled travelers everything they need to feed their wanderlust.
And the gold goes to SATW member Caroline Eubanks for ThisIsMySouth.com. From make-your-own movie set tours to restaurants and accommodations reviews, Caroline pulls back the curtain on the rich history and diverse cultures of the South.
The Travel Journalism website Honorable Mention Award goes to QuirkyCruise.com, SATW member Heidi Sarna and Ted Scull editors.
Winning bronze is Afar.com, Julia Cosgrove, editor-in-chief. The Afar website distinguishes itself with strong focus on regional guides. Obviously the product of deep reporting, these guides combine maps, photography, suggested itineraries, and seasonal tips.
Silver is awarded to bbc.com/travel, SATW member Ann Bannis, editor. Articles are anchored in local reporting and expertise, and the site does an excellent job of finding interesting, quirky, and new angles about places that have been written about many times.
The gold-winning website is nationalgeographic.com/travel. George W. Stone, editor-in-chief. Christine Blau, digital director. This is what a travel website should be: constantly updated, global in scale, and featuring stunning photography.
In the guidebook category, honorable mention goes to Michelle Young and Austin Pasquet, Secret Brooklyn from Jonglez Publishing.
Earning bronze is SATW member Caroline Eubanks. Her second award in the competition, This Is My South, the essential travel guide to the southern states from Globe Pequot. A consistent format makes the guide easy to use. The writing is straightforward and the copious photography is elegant.
Taking silver is SATW member Amy Bazzari for The Best Hits on Route 66, 100 Essential Stops on the Mother Road, also from Globe Pequot. Amy has a finely curated collection of interesting way stations, organized state by state, that casual travelers might miss without her help.
The Gold Award goes to SATW member Becky Lomax. Moon USA National Parks, the complete guide to all 59 parks from AVALON Travel. This is a notably thorough guide. The writing is crisp, the photography is gorgeous, and the maps are very helpful.
In the travel book category, honorable mention belongs to Carl Hoffman, The Last Wild Men of Borneo from HarperCollins.
The bronze winner is SATW member Cindy Ross for The World is Our Classroom, How One Family Used Nature and Travel to Shape an Extraordinary Education, from Skyhorse Publishing. With her husband, daughter, and son, Cindy created a classroom based on residing in nature in several nations.
Silver goes to Doug Brock Clark, The Last Whalers from Little, Brown and Company. Motivated by a burning desire to document disappearing cultures, Doug made an extraordinary commitment to reside among a tiny tribe of whalers on a remote Indonesian island. Part journalist, part anthropologist, Doug has composed a narrative that will be difficult for any reader to forget.
The winner of gold is Allison Kofelt. Maps are lines we draw, a road trip through Haiti, from Lanternfish Press. Allison's decision to visit the besieged island was partly based on intellectual curiosity and partly on a vague notion of humanitarian aid. This is a well-crafted, highly unusual travel book.
In culinary-related travel, the winner of honorable mention is Elliot Stein for his Vienna's Unpredictable Vegetable Orchestra, BBC Travel.
Winning bronze is Naomi Tomke's Feast by Ferry in Hemispheres. Naomi highlights the courage, creativity, and passion of 3 chefs in Washington State's San Juan Islands. She elevates a seemingly simple story beyond mere slice-of-life writing into something altogether more poignant and thought-provoking.
Winning silver is David Farley, a guest at the feast in UK's National Geographic Traveller. David takes us inside the experience of a festive Georgian supra, describing mouth-stuffing and wine-guzzling galore. The judges termed this a tremendous piece of writing and reporting.
The winner of gold is Lisa C. for One Perfect Cup in National Geographic Traveler. This is one perfect culinary travel feature. Lisa takes readers along on the journey to discover the origins and cultural significance of tea.
The category of short work on travel is for articles with single subject coverage in up to 800 words. Honorable mention goes to SATW member Demain Venata, Gather Round the Table, from Ohio Cooperative Living.
Winning bronze is SATW member Fran Golden for The Galapagos is Evolving with Luxury Yacht Cruises, from Bloomberg Pursuits. Fran's story is an informative guide for readers who want to understand the visitor's impact and also how to choose the right voyage for their own trip.
The silver winner is Elaine Glusack for At an Arizona Ranch, Desert Beauty, with a side of border politics, in the New York Times. Thoroughly reported and written with sumptuous detail, the piece blends history, culture, and politics while inviting readers to picture the star-studded past and reinvigorated present of a dusty dude ranch.
And the gold-winning article is Carrie Westenberg's Swimming with the One Percenters in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. This deftly reported and written story weaves history, anecdotes, and instantly visual details about a weekend on the island.
In the category of special purpose travel, honorable mention goes to SATW member Christopher P. Baker, Hidden Honshu, in BMW Motorcycle Magazine.
Bronze is presented to Zora O'Neill, Lesbos, a Greek island big enough for 2, BBC Travel. While on the annual family vacation to Lesbos, Zora left the beach respite and drove to the other side of the island to help refugees.
Winning silver is SATW member Lisa Ballard, Climbers as Humanitarians in the Appalachia Journal. Lisa joined a team that went to Mexico to help people in the high country after the 2017 earthquake. Lisa's story is filled with humanitarian deeds told in her moving narrative style.
Gold is won by Florence Williams for The Survivors in Outside. 6 city women at the end of a year-long treatment for sex abuse and substance abuse are on a 4-day backpacking trip in Colorado. The hike is a metaphor for their journey to the healing power of nature. The story's infrastructure, complete with recreated scenes and dialogue, moves the narrative and makes this story work.
In the personal comment category, honorable mention goes to Tyrone Beeson for A Reporter Feels the Spirit of Martin Luther King Jr.'s Promised Land on a Mexican Mountaintop in the Seattle Times.
Winning bronze is SATW member Bob Howells. The only way to protect these trees is to hide them in the San Francisco Chronicle. In this thoughtful story, Bob argues that the only real way to protect the United States' magnificent ancient redwoods is to let them grow on their own. Be content, he writes, to view them from afar.
Silver belongs to Latria Graham for We're Here, You Just Don't See Us in Outside. Dispelling the myth that African Americans don't like the outdoors, Latria uses compelling research and a moving personal story to argue that generations of discriminatory laws and customs have actually prevented African Americans from enjoying the pleasures of outdoor activities.
And the gold winner is Jeff McGregor, Taming the Lionfish in Smithsonian Magazine. This funny, deftly written narrative begins with the deliberate spearing of a new invasive ocean species, culminating in the gustatory pleasures of eating these unwelcome marauders. This rollicking, absorbing read details an unusual approach for confronting an environmental issue that's quickly outpacing any means to deal with it.
Taking honorable mention in the cultural tourism category is Wes Eichenwald, Where Life is Still a Cabaret in Manhattan, from the Austin American-Statesman.
The winner of bronze is Leslie O., What It's Like to Break Bread in the Desert in Sevier. This touching and informative essay shows how food is the center of a community. As Leslie and her children make and eat Shrek bread with a Bedouin family, they learn much about the nomadic desert culture.
Winning silver is Andrew Van Way, Keyboard Dreams, Observing a Virtual Rite of Passage in Korea from GeoX Wanderlust. Andrew's tale of esports focuses on a stadium packed with people buying tickets to watch other people play video games.
Winner of gold is Jeff McGregor for American Rhapsody in Smithsonian Magazine. This is Jeff's second gold award in this competition. This is a surprising piece for anyone who doesn't know about the Kansas City Symphony Orchestra's annual one-night performances for 6,000 people in the wide-open spaces of the Kansas tallgrass prairie. Judges call McGregor's writing stunning, with poetic, Proustian linked sentences that immediately draw you in.
In the next category, environmental tourism, the bronze winner is Allison Entrican for Turning Tides in Southbound. Allison introduces us to people who have lost their livelihoods through the decline of the oyster population in Apalachicola, Florida. Allison's beautifully observed descriptions bring a quiet, hopeful presence to this story.
Taking silver is Leith Tonino for Grand Theft Monument in Outside. The very presence of the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument is political. With a compelling, original voice, Leith incorporates history, character, and observation into a highly physical, geographical, and spiritual exploration.
And the gold award goes to Paul Caventa for One Scientist's Valiant Mission to Save 2 of Hawaii's Endangered Seabirds in Audubon Magazine. Paul crafts a profile of seabird biologist Andre Rain's resolve to save 2 species of endangered seabirds. Paul lifts up the science, the scientist, and the birds he's determined to save.
For service-oriented consumer work, honorable mention goes to Nikki Eckstein and Mark Elwood for Travel Hacks A to Z from Bloomberg Pursuits.
The bronze winners are Jeremy Tarr, Rachel Levitt, Teddy Minford, Lauren Searson, and Jill Kruger. Voters Go List 2019 from Voters Travel. Topographic and architectural explanations, suggestions on what to read or what to watch, and short history lessons update readers about travel choices.
Winning silver is Christopher Solomon, Adventure Schools in Outside. Words and photos provide a syllabus-style description of a dozen school offerings at 3 different levels, outlining the skills you need and what you can expect to learn at Adventure Schools.
The gold-winning article is Matt Jaffe's Hello Wine Country in Los Angeles Magazine. Most impressively, the multiple elements of this comprehensive story were written by a single author. Sidebars such as listings of the viticultural areas and tips from vintners complement shorter stories on the towns and trails of the San Ynez Valley.
In the category of travel news investigative reporting, the bronze goes to Megan Spacia and Toriro Mezizewa, Adventurous, Alone, Attacked, in the New York Times. In a sobering and useful piece, the New York Times takes a close look at how the solitary pursuit of adventure can go wrong for women and outlines practices that can help keep travelers safe.
The winner of silver is Nikki Eckstein. Caribbean says Zika no longer an issue. Doctors say not so fast. From Bloomberg Pursuits. This is Nikki's second award this year. She explains in a clear, convincing way why the claim that the Caribbean is Zika-free is premature. She outlines the reality the scientific community is tracking and what risks remain.
Winning gold is Zach Everson, Inside the World's Most Controversial Hotel, from Condé Nast Traveler. Zach uses the allure of Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. to draw readers into its darker corners. The judges noted, "What a rare combination of vivid, witty writing and solid investigation this is."
In the category of adventure travel, honorable mention goes to Scott Yorko, Surviving the Darien Gap in Playboy.
Bronze belongs to Doug Robinson for Snowbound in Outside. In a gripping narrative with elegant prose and incisive reporting, Doug unfolds the heartbreaking story of Stephen Otter Olshansky and a hike gone bad.
The Silver Award winner is Nicholas Schmidl, Rocket Man in The New Yorker. This deftly reported and superbly written story soars in its chronicling of Mark Stuckey, the ace pilot leading Virgin Galactic's billion-dollar gambit to commercialize space tourism.
Winning gold is Ali Carr Traxel for Mayday in Outside. This is a beautiful, tragic, and searing account of Ali's father's death while shipboard on the Pacific. Superbly reported, Mayday is suspenseful yet deeply personal in this saga of a boyhood dream gone awry.
In the category of cruise travel, bronze goes to Peter Heller, Hawaii Here We Come, in Travel and Leisure. The story starts with a wonderful lead, and it just gets better from there.
The Silver Award winner is SATW member Emma Yardley. How to See Iceland by Boat in Toronto's Globe and Mail. Employing good use of quotes, local color, and a fascinating angle, Emma takes readers beyond a normal cruise.
SATW member Emma Yardley also wins gold for her article Beyond the Fjords in Vi magazine. Emma's use of historical research, great local quotes, and colorful writing make the reader want to explore the Viking homelands of the Baltic area.
In the category of special packages and projects, honorable mention goes to The New York Times, Secret National Parks, by Jenna Schnur, Rosalind Bentley, Rachel Levin, and Jordan Briel.
The New York Times also wins bronze for The Love Issue by Dan Chayan, Judy Mandel, Leslie Jameson, Ruman Allam, and Carmen Marie Manchado. The judges describe these stories of couples who met while in transit as so sweet, yet so intelligent for a twist in perspective on the topic of love.
Winning silver in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Feeling Superior from SATW member Melanie Radzicki-McManus, Bob Timmons, Brian Peterson, David Brunger, and Jenny Pinkley. This 7-week series covers a 310-plus mile trek of Minnesota's Superior Hiking Trail. It's a full-court press of incredible print and online design and personality-filled video journal updates.
The gold goes to The Greatest Show on Earth in Outside, Christopher Key's editor. The navigation down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon features mesmerizing full-screen interactivity. The high-caliber photography is beautifully presented, and the voice of the piece is as grand as the topic.
In the category of photo illustration of travel, honorable mention goes to Jill Peters for intimate portraits of women who live as men in remote Albania, in Afar.
Winning bronze is Corey Arnold for Big Fish Tale in National Geographic Traveler. With great visual variety, these photos illustrate the path of the salmon from river to table. This photo essay succeeds because it covers both the salmon and their impact on the people nearby.
Silver belongs to Ian Shive, Living Monuments, in National Parks Magazine. With an enviable array of photojournalism skills, Ian's visual storyline in the South Pacific covers marine and land animals, coral, plastic pollution, tourism, and history.
The gold winner is Brian Peterson, Feeling Superior, hiking the Superior Hiking Trail in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. This compelling series was also a winner in the Special Packages category this year. Brian's photos capture the experience of that 310-plus mile hike. His images caught the expansive grandeur, characters of the trail, and the trials and tribulations of a long hike.
In the next category, foreign travel, Anne Sigmund wins honorable mention for Hemingway, Cuba, and Me from GOX Wanderlust.
Bronze goes to Stephanie Pearson in The Land of Giants in Outside. This article boasts a surprising amount of information on national park development in Chile and Argentina, and of the people who made that happen.
Winning silver, Justin Paul for Rocket in Virtuoso Life. Justin's article about skiing in the Dolomites presents a classic, near-textbook example of a destination piece. An early turn of phrase about paper maps quickly hooks the reader, followed by beautiful descriptions of the ski area.
Gold is won by Christopher Voliez, New Greek Odyssey from National Geographic Traveler. Great pacing marks this engaging blend of personal storytelling and site description. Chris truly paints a vivid picture with his words.
In the category of U.S. and Canada travel, honorable mention goes to Langdon Cook for Big Fish Tale in National Geographic Traveler. The story was also an award winner for photographic illustration of travel.
The winner of bronze is Heidi Marie Brandes. From German Roots to Vines of Wine, Fredericksburg, Texas is a colorful trek in Rova magazine. With exquisite detail and strong description, Heidi described Fredericksburg's native plants, wineries, historic buildings, and more.
The authors of the Silver and Gold Awards in U.S. travel wrote, ironically, about the same location, Alaska's remote 13.2 million-acre Wrangell St. Elias National Park and Preserve. But their experiences were very, very different. One writer slept between luxury sheets. The other dangled from a rope in a melting glacier.
Silver goes to Frida Moon, Where the Wilderness Is, in Afar. From ultralight land-anywhere planes belonging to her isolated luxury adventure lodge, Frida saw some of the most remote wildland on Earth. Her writing is descriptive and full of sensory detail.
Earning gold is Mark Jenkins for The Big Unknown in Smithsonian Magazine. With a trekking pole in one hand and an ice axe in the other, so begins this breathtaking tale. Mark's factual reporting on climate change and the danger to the park's ages-old 3,000 glaciers is superb.
In the category of travel audio and podcast, honorable mention goes to Nikki Eckstein and Mark Elwood for Forbidden Travel and Chef Curtis Stone from Bloomberg Pursuit's Travel Genius.
Bronze is won by Randy Sharman for Wildlife Cruelty in Tourism on The Informed Traveler, 770 CHQR, Calgary.
This podcast asks listeners to consider wildlife as locals, and it forces travelers to confront how seemingly harmless activities may actually be detrimental to animal health and well-being.
Winning silver is Mike Randolph for Madrid's Rastro, a feast for the ears, on Spain by MikeRandolph.com. Engulfing listeners in the sounds of Madrid, the experimental use of technology makes this production stand out.
The Gold Award goes to Beth Harpaz and Warren Levinson, Montgomery, Alabama's Lynching Memorial and Legacy Museum, on the Associated Press Get Outta Here podcast.
This well-produced podcast weaves painful stories of lynching and racial abuse of the past with painful stories of the present.
In the category of travel video, honorable mention is won by the team of SATW members Joseph Rosendo and Julie Rosendo for Mekong River Adventure Part 1 on Travel Scope.
Winning bronze is Samantha Brown for Samantha Brown's Places to Love, Lafayette, Louisiana, on PBS and Samantha Brown Media.
Samantha brings Cajun culture to life by having Lafayette's residents tell and show its different facets: music, dance, food, and the environment.
Silver goes to Rebecca Barlas, Andrik Deppmeyer, and Christoph Niemann. This artist sketched his way through Cambodia and Vietnam from National Geographic Traveler. In this, his second win in the competition, Christoph shows how he tries to disconnect from an assumed way of travel and expertly describes capturing real experiences.
Taking gold is the team of Lee Cowan, Aria Shavelson, David Bagat, Rand Morrison, and Henry Bautista for CBS Sunday Morning Puffin Patrol. This superb video shows how the efforts of the locals are slowing the decline of the puffins on a small island off the coast of Iceland.
In the competition for Best Travel Magazine, honorable mention goes to Afar, Julia Cosgrove, Editor-in-Chief.
Taking bronze is Southbound, SATW member Kevin Benefield, Editor-in-Chief. Strong photo usage, illustrations, and stories combined in an editorial mix that speaks to the reader.
Earning silver, Travel and Leisure, Jacqueline Gifford, Editor-in-Chief. Nathan Lump, former Editor-in-Chief. The magazine's inviting covers, strong content-driven design, and striking photos, combined with an editorial mix of information, education, and entertainment.
Winning gold is National Geographic Traveler, SATW member George W. Stone, Editor-in-Chief. The content is notable for its original reporting, strong conversational titles, and for design that enhances the use of powerful photos. The editorial mix contains substantive features and useful news for travelers.
For best travel coverage in other magazines, honorable mention goes to Outside, Christopher Keyes, editor.
The winner of bronze is Private Clubs Magazine, SATW member Don Nichols, Editor-in-Chief. Beautiful and easy to read, the magazine's travel stories offer in-depth looks at topical issues and travel news.
The Silver Award goes to Midwest Living, Trevor Mears, Editorial Content Director. Each issue of the magazine offers at least a dozen travel stories, along with photos, maps, and event listings, all of which provide an expansive glimpse of the Midwest.
The gold winner is Yankee Magazine, Mel Allen, editor. The many travel stories in each issue show that travel is an important focus of the editorial mission. Stories range from the best of to deeper features, offering glimpses into location, culture, and history.
In the category of newspaper travel coverage, Honorable mention goes to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Carrie Westenberg, travel editor.
The winner of bronze is the New York Times, Amy Vership and Steve Radcliffe, travel editors. Travel pieces are informative, interesting, and deliver a body of facts, long-form narratives, photo essays, and opinion pieces create a variety of tone.
Silver goes to the Los Angeles Times, SATW member and past Society president, Catherine Ham, travel editor. The Times stories are an incentive to travel. They speak to the reader, telling the reader where to go, how to get there, and what will make the trip better. Strong photos support and complement the text.
And the Gold Award winner is The Washington Post, Nicole Arthur, travel editor. Stories are original in topic and in expression, with inviting narratives and strong photos. Through presentation, news to use, and ancillary elements, the section is more than a sum of its very strong parts.
And now, the SATW Foundation is extremely proud to present the 4 finalists for our grand award, Travel Journalist of the Year.
Honorable mention goes to SATW member Christopher Reynolds, travel writer for the Los Angeles Times. Christopher Reynolds has a respect for places of wonder, but also a carefully managed, irreverent streak. He can both love a destination and single out its idiosyncrasies, such as a plumbing crisis in Portland or extra-large steaks in Texas. For a lesson in timing and delivery, this is a great first stop.
Bronze is awarded to freelance writer SATW member Alex Pulaski. What stands out in Alex's text is his pitch-perfect pace and smart word choices. His stories brim with charming characters, wonderful anecdotes, and surprising details.
Winning silver is Nikki Eckstein, travel writer with Bloomberg Pursuits. Her 4th award in this year's competition, Nikki is impressive in her effort to give readers more than they bargained for. While she satisfies would-be visitors' desire to get the latest intelligence on popular Caribbean destinations, Nikki also manages to engage them in thinking about the changing environment. Her travel writing is about much more than mere tourism.
And now to the gold winner, already a winner in this year's competition. Congratulations to the 2019 Lowell Thomas Travel Journalist of the Year, freelance writer Elaine Glusak.
Elaine's portfolio demonstrates a mastery of every form of travel writing, from a breaking news story about the FAA's refusal to regulate airline seats to beautifully written features about her adventures in under-frequented spots on the globe. Elaine caters to the inveterate traveler with plenty of practical tips, but her deeply reported and meticulously contextualized pieces also allow armchair travelers to gain an appreciation and understanding of places they might never visit.
Congratulations to Elaine Glusak and all the winners in the 2019 Lowell Thomas Travel Journalism Competition. The sustainability of this competition is made possible by a generous contribution from Gold supporter Carnival Corporation, the world's largest cruise company, with a portfolio of brands including Carnival Cruise Line, Holland America Line, Cunard, Seabourn, and Princess Cruises.
The SATW Foundation appreciates the contribution from Carnival and the donations made by so many SATW members in support of the Foundation's goal to recognize and reward outstanding travel journalism.
We encourage you to enter next year's competition, and we look forward to the announcement of winners of the 2020 Lowell Thomas Travel Journalism Awards. When signing off, Lowell Thomas always said,
"So long until tomorrow."
And now we say,
So long until next year.